If weakness in your legs after 60 has you struggling with daily activities, you're not alone. Millions of older adults experience mobility problems that seem to appear out of nowhere, making simple tasks feel overwhelming. While muscle weakness often gets blamed on normal aging, what I'm about to share might completely change how you think about your health. Difficulty with your legs affects your independence in ways most people don't realize. You might notice trouble standing for extended periods while cooking dinner or waiting in line at the store. Climbing stairs becomes a challenge that leaves you breathless and concerned. Even your regular walks around the neighborhood feel different when your legs seem heavier and more tired than usual. These aren't just inconveniences, they're warning signs that something deeper might be happening. Most health advice focuses on exercise and diet, which are important, but there's a shocking truth that healthcare providers rarely discuss. The surprising cause I'm revealing today involves 2 vitamins that millions of people take every single day, believing they're protecting their health. These hidden dangers are lurking in your medicine cabinet right now, and they could be directly contributing to your declining mobility. Here's one of the most important secrets you need to know. Not all vitamins are created equal, and more is not always better. When you ask, "Why do my legs feel weak after taking vitamins?" the answer might be that you're actually consuming too much of certain nutrients. The irony is heartbreaking. People spend money on supplements, thinking they're investing in their future, only to discover they're working against their own strength. Today, I'll reveal the 2 worst vitamins that could be stealing your mobility. These aren't obscure supplements you've never heard of. They're common vitamins that are often recommended. If you want to understand how to fix weak legs after taking too many vitamins and prevent further muscle problems, you need to understand which vitamins can actually harm rather than help. The best nutrients for strength aren't necessarily the ones you think, and knowing how to strengthen your legs starts with avoiding the mistakes that weaken them in the first place. Stay until the end, because vitamin number 1 will absolutely surprise you, and understanding both of these could be the key to maintaining your independence for years to come. Vitamin number 2. Excess vitamin D. Everyone tells you to take vitamin D for bone health, especially after 60. Your doctor probably recommended it, your friends swear by it, and health articles constantly promote its benefits. However, too much vitamin D can actually weaken your legs in ways that most people never expect. The side effects that healthcare providers rarely discuss could be the reason your mobility is declining, not improving. Supplements containing vitamin D have become incredibly popular, but here's the problem that most people don't understand. Unlike water-soluble vitamins that your body eliminates through urine, vitamin D stores in your fat tissues and doesn't flush out easily. This means every extra dose you take builds up over time, creating a dangerous accumulation that can lead to serious health problems. When you consume excessive amounts of vitamin D, your body absorbs too much calcium from food and supplements. This creates a condition called hypercalcemia, where calcium levels in your blood become dangerously high. Overdose symptoms start developing as this excess calcium begins traveling to places where it doesn't belong: your muscles, tendons, and soft tissues, instead of your bones where it's needed. How too much vitamin D weakens muscles involves this misplaced calcium essentially hardening your flexible tissues. Your leg muscles need to contract and relax smoothly for normal movement, but when calcium deposits accumulate in muscle fibers, they become stiff and resistant to normal function. This process happens gradually, which is why many people don't connect their declining strength to their vitamin D intake. The excess creates specific symptoms that older adults often mistake for normal aging. Muscle stiffness in your calves and thighs becomes noticeable first, making your morning routine more difficult. You might experience a burning sensation in your leg muscles during activities that used to feel effortless. Cramps happen more frequently, especially at night, disrupting your sleep and leaving you feeling drained the next day. Difficulty bending your knees becomes increasingly problematic as calcium continues accumulating in your joint tissues. Simple movements like getting up from a chair or climbing into your car require more effort and planning. Walking distances that were once manageable now leave you feeling exhausted and uncomfortable. Safety concerns extend beyond just the muscles. Your kidneys work overtime trying to process excess vitamin D, and when kidney function becomes compromised, fluid retention occurs throughout your body. This creates leg swelling that adds weight and pressure to already weakened muscles, making movement even more challenging. The cycle becomes self-perpetuating as poor kidney function leads to more fluid retention, which increases the burden on your legs, creating more weakness and discomfort. Dangerous formulations often include multiple sources of vitamin D without realizing the cumulative effect. The most problematic supplements include those megadose formulations containing 4,000 IU or more of vitamin D daily. Many people take these high-potency supplements, believing that more is better, but safety requires understanding that your body's ability to process and eliminate excess nutrients decreases with age. Hidden sources compound the problem significantly. Fortified milk, cereals, and other foods contain vitamin D that people don't account for when calculating their daily intake. Multiple supplements often contain vitamin D as an added ingredient, meaning you could be getting doses from your multivitamin, calcium supplement, and dedicated vitamin D pill simultaneously. Vitamin A and D overdose symptoms can overlap and intensify each other, creating a complex health situation that's difficult to diagnose. The most common mistake involves taking supplements without blood testing to determine your actual vitamin D levels. Many people assume they're deficient and start supplementing without knowing their baseline, leading to unnecessary and potentially harmful overdosing. Understanding these risks doesn't mean avoiding vitamin D entirely, but rather approaching supplements with appropriate caution and medical guidance to prevent the weakness and mobility issues that excessive intake can cause. Vitamin number 1, excess vitamin A. This will surprise you more than vitamin D, and the truth about vitamin A might completely change how you approach your daily nutrition. Nutrients that cause weakness don't always come from obvious sources, and vitamin A represents one of the most overlooked threats to mobility in older adults. Unlike other nutrients that require deliberate supplementation, vitamin A appears in foods you consume every single day, making it incredibly easy to exceed safe levels without realizing it. Muscle weakness often traces back to vitamin A toxicity, because your liver simply cannot handle excessive amounts after age 60. Your liver serves as the primary storage site for this fat-soluble vitamin, and when levels become too high, it creates a cascade of problems that directly impact your leg strength and overall mobility. The process begins silently, with symptoms developing so gradually that most people attribute them to normal aging rather than nutritional imbalance. Health after 60 requires understanding how excess vitamin A attacks your leg muscles through multiple mechanisms. Your liver stores vitamin A in specialized cells, but when these storage sites become overwhelmed, the excess begins circulating through your bloodstream and accumulating in muscle tissues. This creates inflammation within the muscle fibers themselves, disrupting the normal cellular processes that maintain strength and function. The inflammation caused by vitamin A toxicity blocks your body's ability to absorb essential minerals like magnesium and calcium. These minerals are absolutely critical for proper muscle contraction and relaxation. When your muscles lack adequate magnesium and calcium, they cannot contract properly, leading to weakness that becomes most noticeable in your large leg muscles, the quadriceps, hamstrings, and calf muscles that you depend on for walking, climbing stairs, and maintaining balance. Exercise becomes increasingly difficult when vitamin A toxicity undermines muscle function from within. The weakness typically affects your largest muscle groups first because they have the highest metabolic demands and are most sensitive to nutritional imbalances. This explains why many people notice their leg strength declining before experiencing problems with smaller muscle groups in their arms or hands. Nutritional mistakes often involve the bone connection that most people don't understand about vitamin A. While everyone knows that vitamin D supports bone health, excess vitamin A actually weakens your bones through a completely different mechanism. High levels of vitamin A interfere with your body's ability to maintain proper bone density, particularly in weight-bearing bones like your hips and legs. Muscle problems become compounded when weakened bones cannot provide adequate support for muscle function. Your hip and leg bones become increasingly fragile as excess vitamin A disrupts the normal bone remodeling process. This creates a higher fracture risk that many people don't anticipate, especially when the weakness develops gradually over months or years of excessive intake. The hidden sources of vitamin A create the biggest challenge for supplement safety. Liver contains extremely high concentrations of vitamin A. Just a small serving can provide several times your daily requirement. Fortified cereals and milk add significant amounts that people rarely calculate into their total intake. Most concerning are multivitamins that often contain far more vitamin A than necessary, especially when combined with other dietary sources. Health mistakes frequently involve beta-carotene supplements that convert to active vitamin A in your body. Many people take these thinking they're safer than direct vitamin A supplements, but your body converts beta-carotene to vitamin A as needed. An excessive conversion can lead to the same toxicity problems. The result is that many older adults unknowingly consume 3 to 4 times the safe daily amount. Healthy aging must address why vitamin A toxicity becomes more dangerous after 60. Your metabolism naturally slows with age, reducing your body's ability to process and eliminate excess vitamins efficiently. Liver function decreases as part of normal aging, meaning the organ responsible for vitamin A storage and metabolism becomes less capable of handling high levels safely. Overdose in older adults occurs because your body holds on to fat-soluble vitamins much longer than when you were younger. The vitamin A that might have been safely processed and eliminated at age 40 becomes problematic at 65 because your physiological systems are less robust and resilient. Safety protocols should emphasize that vitamin A requirements don't increase with age, but tolerance for excess decreases significantly. The strength you need to maintain independence can be directly compromised by well-intentioned nutritional choices that seemed harmless in earlier decades. Nutritional mistakes around vitamin A often stem from the assumption that natural sources are always safe. However, the concentration of vitamin A in certain foods, combined with fortified products and supplements, creates a perfect storm for toxicity. Health advice should focus on awareness of cumulative intake rather than individual sources, because the total daily consumption determines whether you'll experience the muscle weakness and bone problems that can destroy your mobility and independence. The life-changing solution that saves your legs. Taking control of your vitamin intake starts with accurate testing rather than guesswork. Stopping harmful supplements begins with understanding your current vitamin levels through proper blood testing. Most people have never had their vitamin A or vitamin D levels checked, yet they continue taking supplements based on assumptions or general recommendations that may not apply to their specific situation. Learning how to fix weak legs after taking too many vitamins requires knowing exactly where your vitamin levels stand right now. Ask your doctor for a 25-hydroxy vitamin D test. which measures the stored form of vitamin D in your body and provides the most accurate assessment of your status. For vitamin A, request a retinol test that will reveal whether you're already consuming too much from your current diet and supplements. These tests eliminate the dangerous practice of supplementing blindly and give you concrete data to make informed decisions. Addressing weakness means following safe dosage guidelines that account for age-related changes in metabolism and elimination. For vitamin D, older adults should aim for 600 to 800 IU daily, not the megadoses of 5,000 IU or higher that many people take. Safety means understanding that your needs don't increase dramatically with age, but your tolerance for excess decreases significantly. Vitamin A intake should never exceed 3,000 IU daily, and many people can maintain adequate levels with much less. Preventing muscle weakness means getting nutrients from food sources whenever possible, since your body has natural mechanisms to regulate absorption from dietary sources that don't exist with concentrated supplements. Recommendations emphasize supplementing only what you're actually missing based on blood test results. This targeted approach prevents the vitamin toxicity that undermines strength while ensuring you get adequate nutrition for optimal health. Taking vitamins you don't need wastes money and potentially harms your mobility. The food versus supplement strategy offers significant advantages for safety. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines provide vitamin D, along with beneficial omega-3 fatty acids that support muscle and joint health. Egg yolks from pasture-raised chickens offer another excellent vitamin D source that includes other nutrients your body needs for optimal absorption and utilization. Healthy choices include colorful vegetables for vitamin A rather than high-concentration sources like liver or supplements. Carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and bell peppers provide beta-carotene that your body converts to vitamin A only as needed. This natural regulation system prevents the toxicity issues that occur with direct vitamin A supplements or extremely high-concentration foods. Your body regulates food-based vitamins through sophisticated mechanisms that have evolved over thousands of years. When you consume beta-carotene from vegetables, your body converts only the amount needed for current functions and stores the remainder as inactive beta-carotene. Supplements bypass these natural controls, delivering concentrated doses directly into your system without the regulatory safeguards that prevent toxicity. Recovery from vitamin toxicity follows a predictable timeline that requires patience and consistency. Safety protocols recommend stopping excess supplements immediately once testing reveals elevated levels. Most people notice improvements within 2 to 4 weeks of discontinuing problematic vitamins, as inflammation begins reducing and mineral absorption normalizes. Understanding healing includes knowing that full recovery typically takes 2 to 3 months because fat-soluble vitamins like A and D remain stored in your tissues long after you stop consuming them. Your liver needs time to process and eliminate the accumulated excess, while your muscles require weeks to repair damage from inflammation and mineral deficiencies. Prevention involves patience during the recovery process. Your body has a remarkable healing capacity, but reversing months or years of vitamin toxicity doesn't happen overnight. Some people become discouraged when improvements don't occur immediately, but consistent adherence to proper dosing and regular monitoring ensures the best possible outcome. Safety ultimately depends on regular testing, appropriate dosing, and preference for food sources over high-dose supplements. This approach maintains adequate nutrition while avoiding the toxicity that can destroy the strength and mobility you need to maintain independence throughout your later years. Remember, more vitamins are not always better for your health. Always test your blood levels before starting any supplements. When you make these changes, your legs will genuinely thank you with improved strength and mobility. Subscribe now for more essential health tips that protect your independence. Share this video with friends who take daily supplements. You might save their mobility. Comment below and tell us about your vitamin experiences or concerns about leg strength. Disclaimer: this video is for educational purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. Always consult your healthcare provider before starting any new supplement, especially if you have underlying health conditions or are taking medication.